Everybody, happy holidays. I want to tackle the 800-pound gorilla in the room right off. Yes, I know I have spooky hair. This is why. When you wear one of these things in 80 degrees, you ride up and you don't have a brush, this is what happens. So enough about picking on my hair, okay? And you know who I'm talking to. So it occurred to me last week that it's been 20 years since the O.J. Simpson trial, the trial of the century. And I just, 20 years, can you believe it? So I read Vincent Bugliosi's book, Outrage, to review the case, and I want to ask you, do you, with everything you know, feel that O.J. Simpson was guilty of killing Ron and Nicole? Or do you still feel he was not guilty? And not guilty is a legal term that does not mean innocent. It means he was proven not guilty. I'd love to hear your opinion in the comments. Let's review the trial. So we see O.J. Simpson fleeing the scene in a Bronco with about $8,000, his passport, and a disguise, along with a handgun. Evidence looked like guilt, right? Not introduced by the prosecution in the trial because they thought it created too much of a sympathetic image for O.J. Simpson. So, okay, let's talk about the blood. There was blood everywhere. There was blood at Nicole's, there was blood at O.J.'s, there was blood in his Bronco. There was a big old cut on his hand that he couldn't explain, didn't know where it happened. All happened in the same couple of hours. So when the police showed up to collect the blood at Nicole's, they found Ron, Nicole's, and O.J.'s blood. They found one glove. Now, 3 hours later, Mark Fuhrman, the Nazi investigator, the racist, goes to O.J.'s place, Rockingham, and finds the second glove. And they said he planted it. Well, how could he plant it if he only arrived at the crime scene 2 hours after everybody else was there? They would have had to have given him the glove and said, go plant this. And that would mean all of these police officers were in on some vast conspiracy to frame O.J. Simpson. Now, why would they do that? I mean, O.J. was a member of the Police Protective League. He golfed with these guys. He was on a first-name basis with them. When O.J. was, accused by his wife of beating her up several times, the police came out, didn't even arrest O.J., didn't even file a report. And these are the people, 10, 15, 20 people, none of whom met each other, were going to get together in the course of an hour and go, hey, let's frame O.J. Wouldn't this be great? I think there's a good deal of reasonable doubt that that did not happen. What more likely happened is Fuhrman found the glove at O.J.'s house, and Johnnie Cochran decided to turn it into a race trial due to the Rodney King verdict. He knew he had a mostly black jury that were still angry, justifiably, over the Rodney King verdict, and was able to introduce enough reservations in their mind that they turned in a not guilty verdict. And the one that really bothers me the most was the DNA evidence. They said it was collected slightly wrong. Their criminalist Henry Lee said something wrong about the evidence because it was like a little missing or something. Well, when DNA evidence degrades, it doesn't magically turn into someone else's DNA. The DNA goes away and becomes unusable. When all of this blood evidence, even though it might have been slightly degraded, it was still pointing to O.J. Simpson. A 1 in 250 or 500,000 chance of being O.J. Simpson. The gloves were a matching pair to a pair he'd bought. There were only 200 made. The Bruno Magli shoes were a match to a pair he bought and wore on Monday Night Football. So the prosecution, as Vince Bugliosi points out, did a horrific job of prosecuting the case. But he also points out, look, when you order DoorDash, do they get your order right? No. You go to McDonald's, do they forget your fries? All the time. You go to do anything done. You buy a house, oh, we forgot to check these boxes. We forgot to tell you the electrical conduit didn't work. We forgot to tell you the pipes were out. I mean, mediocrity is everywhere in our society, not just the O.J. trial. So I would just like to put it to you, the jury. Do you now think O.J. Simpson was guilty of the murders of Ron and Nicole, or do you still believe there was enough reasonable doubt that he was innocent? A long time. Time for perspective. Larry out. Take care.